I want to welcome you to the 2021 Rockwall Foundation Awards and Grant Celebration. Thank you for joining our virtual gathering, celebrating the selection of our environmental champions and the accomplishments of our teams. So please sit back, relax, get a snack, your favorite beverage. And near the end, it's about the beverage. We're going to be bringing everyone onto the screen to toast our honored guests this evening. So be prepared with your beverage. And I also want you to recognize that this meeting is being recorded. Founded in 1935 by Clarence Wadsworth, the Rockwall Foundation's mission is to promote and support environmental education and conservation in the lower Connecticut River Valley. In support of that mission, our grants program provides funding to other schools and municipalities for environmental projects. Since 1973, we have awarded just under 400 grants totaling more than $600,000. We own and operate the DeKoven House as a community center, and that's where I am now, home to 7 nonprofit organizations, including Rockwall. And we all work to make the world a more sustainable and enjoyable place to live. And we also provide community meeting spaces to be used by the public. So if you have a meeting room need, give us a call. In addition, we host Meet Your Greens gatherings for environmental enthusiasts. We hold environmental educational programs like our series Wasted Small Efforts for Big Change. We own and work to maintain the Rockwall Forest. We award an environmental leadership scholarship each year to a Lower Connecticut student. We also co-sponsor an environmental film series, and on our website, you will find our blog. And on our blog, you will find ways to make invasive plants into delectable dishes. You will find a path less travel, our off the beaten path hiking series, and you will also find our monthly nature calendar. And as may be obvious, we also present our Environmental Champion Awards and celebrate our grantees each year. So welcome. And that's merely a sample of our work. Please go to our website, rockwallfoundation.org, to find out more. Now on to our awards. Each year, the awards committee selects individuals and/or organizations for the Rockwall Foundation's Environmental Champion Awards. Each awardee has made a positive impact to the natural world in the areas of preservation, conservation, ecosystem restoration, and environmental education. Nominations are sought from the general public, and the awards fall into 2 categories: certificates of appreciation for recognition of significant programs and projects, and the Tom Odell Distinguished Service Award for outstanding lifelong accomplishments. The members of the awards committee are Brian McCarthy, Charlie Renshaw, Raul Debregard, Leslie Higgins, and Ozels. We thank them for their commitment to and time spent on the committee. This evening, we pay tribute to the accomplishments of 3 very deserving individuals. And on to our certificates of appreciation. First, Bernie Gillis. Bernie is dedicated to the preservation of and public access to open space in the town of East Haddam. He's a member of the town's Conservation Commission, Land Trust, and Planning and Zoning Commission. Bernie is known as the local authority on the extensive open space trail systems in East Haddam. And he's a consistent mainstay and advocate of the maintenance of the over a dozen preserves. Working with other members of the commission and with volunteers, Bernie leads the way, whether it be building a kiosk, blazing a new trail, bridging a stream, felling the remnants of trees fallen over trails, or walking the borders of prospective open space properties, looking to create new preserves and hiking trails for the town. And now I'll ask Liz to play the video.
The Patrol property. I'm here with Bernie Gillis. We're here today on the Patrol property. I'm here with Bernie Gillis. He's a recipient of a certificate of appreciation from the Rockwall Foundation and our awards this year. And first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We're on the Patrol property, and tell us a little bit about this parcel.
Well, we acquired the Patrol property and the Pizzini property, which is across the street, and the Lyons property, which is out on 82 several years ago. And it's 106 acres, and it's the beginning of the Goodwin Trail. named after Dick Goodwin, who was founder of the Nature Conservancy. And we have a ADA trail here, probably one of the few in Connecticut that's actually is accessible to the river, and also a pollinator garden here put in by the master gardeners. So it's a really wonderful place.
Yeah, and we took a little walk before, and we came to a bridge that you had something to do with building.
Yeah, that bridge was put in about 10 years ago by the Land Trust under Rob Smith's guidance, and that's one of the big projects that I worked on with them. I was when I first came to East Haddam, I joined the Land Trust, and I've been an active member, a life member since then, 29 years ago.
And that bridge crosses the 8 Mile River,
It does.
which
Connects
is part of the 8 Mile River Wild and Scenic.
federal designation.
Right.
Yes.
That was very important to get and was difficult to get. So I know a lot of work went into getting that designation.
Yeah, we got that through Congress in '08, and it was a long, hard struggle, but under the guidance of Tony Irving and Dr. David Bingham and Sue Merrill, it was a great achievement.
Now, as we talked before, your nomination form came. They designated you as Mr. Open Space for the town of East Haddam for all the work that you do in helping the town acquire and manage open space. So, what have been your favorite projects?
Well, that bridge certainly was one, but other bridges that the Land Trust built on some of their property. We have two entities in town. One is the East Haddam Land Trust, and one is the Conservation Commission. We each own thousands of acres together, and as well as the Nature Conservancy and State of Connecticut with Devil's Hop Yard and Machamutis State Park and Gillette's Castle. So that, the bridges are fun, but just cutting in a trail to a new property after you acquire it is a beautiful thing.
So, what brought you to be have such appreciation of the outdoor and the natural world?
I think my brother early on gave me the tools. He worked for the DEP in forestry for several years and taught me how to use a chainsaw and took me out into the woods. We hiked the trails, and he gave me a great understanding of nature and how important it was.
Well, that's terrific. So we are here today with Bernie Gillis. He's a recipient of Certificate of Appreciation for all his hard work that he's done to create and maintain open space. So on behalf of Rockfall, I want to thank you so much for what you do for the natural world.
I'd love to thank Rockfall for this honor and the people that appointed me to this position.
Great. Well, again, congratulations and thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much.
We're here today on the
that was a really enjoyable afternoon going out and visiting with Bernie on part of the 8 Mile River, and you'll hear the 8 Mile River come up again in the near future. I'd like to recognize Bernie now for a few words.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, first up, I'd like to thank the Rockfall Foundation for this wonderful honor, and also the selection committee for choosing me over so many other qualified candidates. I'd like to congratulate Deba and Kim and Mary Ellen, Chris and Andrea for their awards tonight. I'd also like to recognize my friends in the East Haddam Land Trust, the Salem Land Trust, the Lyme Conservation Land Trust, and of course the 8 Mile River Wild and Scenic Committee, which I've been on for 12 years. They've shown me how important it is to conserve land, how important it is for the health of our planet, and I really appreciate this award. Thank you very much.
And if
Tony was having a little bit of internet trouble before all of this started, so I am guessing that his internet has went down. So Bernie, thank you very much. Let me just remove your spotlight. Oops, or maybe I just made you bigger. Either way, our next certificate of appreciation award, Dr. Deepa Khan Bureau. I admittedly don't have the write-up that Tony had to say any words, but I do have a video that I can share with you about Deepa and her accomplishments when we went to go see her down at the 8 Mile River. So hold on 1 second and I will pull that up. And hopefully he can get on and say his remarks before the video is over. Oops.
We're here this afternoon by the 8 Mile River in Salem, and I'm here with Deepa Khan Bureau, and we're here to recognize her for receiving the Certificate of Appreciation from the Rockfall Foundation. So Deepa, could you just tell me a little bit about your association with the river?
Yes, I will. I work at Three Rivers Community College. I've been there for many years. I teach environmental engineering technology. And I was approached by Mike Cushing a long time ago, about 20 years ago. And he asked me if I would help work on the 8 Mile with him. And so my students and I do work on the 8 Mile. As a matter of fact, this is right where we did one of our locations for sampling the water for benthic macroinvertebrates. And like I said, we've been doing this for about 20 years. And it's something that we really love to do.
So I understand that you've done some research that included studying the 8 Mile River. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. For my PhD dissertation, what I did was I looked at diatoms, which are algae, microalgae in lime. And I was published not long ago for that research work. And so I looked at the different species of diatoms that I found, and I did cloning. I looked at their DNA. I extracted DNA, and then I did the cloning. And I was published in 2017 for that work.
And is there significant aquatic life in the 8 Mile?
Oh yes, it's a very, this river is a very healthy river. We're very fortunate that there's not a lot of impervious surface in either of the towns in Lyme, Salem, or in East Haddam. And so that really helps to protect it from stormwater runoff and things like that. So the water is high quality, and we do find lots of different species and biodiversity of benthic macroinvertebrates, which are the insect larvae, and diatoms. And so, yeah, so it's a really healthy river.
And tell me about your students. Do they enjoy getting their waders on and going in the water?
Oh, they love it. They absolutely love it. We just did one of our sampling sessions about 2 weeks ago. Okay. And so we had really nice weather, and we collected in 4 locations in Lyme, East Haddam, and Salem. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And again, you're sampling, you're collecting for what?
We're collecting benthic macroinvertebrates. Okay. Yeah, we do that for the DEEP, and we also do it for cat young.
Okay. So some of what you collect is actually data that DEEP uses
yes,
to gauge the health of the river and
absolutely.
Other things.
Yep. We actually give our samples to the DEEP. Megan takes those samples from us, and she identifies to species. We're pretty good at identifying to species at times, but there's some things that you can't unless you have a microscope. So Megan does that. Megan Lally from the DEEP will look at the insect larvae under the microscope.
Well, and we know that Megan is the person that nominated you for this award.
Yes, you did. Thank you, Megan.
So we want to thank her for that.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you so much
for your award.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, again, we're here in Salem. I'm here with Deepa, and we're here to recognize her work on the 8 Mile River.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Tony says he's back on. So before I get too far. Sorry, Bernie, that you are still highlighted. Oh, here
So
he
Liz,
is.
Liz,
Tony.
can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay, I don't know, here I am over here. So we apologize for our technical difficulties, but those happen during these Zoom meetings, and we'll just push through it. I don't know exactly where I got through with Deepa's introduction before I dropped out. But as she mentioned, she is a professor and program coordinator for the Environmental Engineering Technology and Biology TAP. Maintained over your partnership with the 8 Mile River Wild and Scenic Watershed and Connecticut Deep Riffle program. And she works with students monitoring the health of the rivers. And I think for the rest of her video kind of talked about what she did. So thank you very much, Deepa. And now I invite you for some comments.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm honored to receive this prestigious environmental award from Rockfall. And I want to thank my students for contributing to the quality water assessment, the RBV, the rapid bioassessment, some people call it the Riffle bioassessment of the 8 Mile River. I also want to thank Megan Lally for nominating me from the DEEP. And of course, Pat Young and the 8 Mile River Committee. I am proud to be an environmental champion. So thank you for the Rockfall Foundation, Tony and Liz, and congratulations to all of the recipients of this award. Thank you so much. I really am honored.
Well, thank you very much, Deepa. Very well deserving. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to move on to the Distinguished Service Award. Is named in honor of Tom Modell, who served on many local, state environmental organizations, including chair of Rockfall Foundation's Award and Scholarship Committee. He was also responsible for the preservation of over 2,000 acres of open space and championed the protection of the barrier islands in the town of Westbrook. I would like to invite Kim O'Rourke to join us. For the city of Middletown, starting at a time when mandatory recycling was new in Connecticut. Kim has built a program in Middletown that has received statewide recognition, and very well deserving so. Kim has expanded the purview of her one-person operation to include multiple aspects of environmental conservation, including ecosystem protection. Okay, want to make sure I'm still there. Ecosystem protection, sustainability, waste reduction, composting, and organic food production. That's a lot. Kim recently created the first in the state Feed the Earth campaign, which helps Middletown restaurants to turn food waste into compost and create clean energy. In addition, Kim has also started a variety of food waste composting opportunities for the citizens of Middletown. Kim has produced Recycling It's a Walk in the Park and Recreation Recyclables videos for the city of Middletown, and has created a demonstration vegetable garden at City Hall. With community groups, including the Rockfall Foundation, Kim was instrumental in planning of the Rockfall's Wasted Small Efforts for Big Change series and to plan a series of repair cafes. With other community partners, she has worked with Middletown to achieve a silver certification in the Sustainable CT program, to pass the Bring Your Own Bag ordinance. She has organized household hazardous waste events, shredding events, and has provided Middletown residents with rain barrels and composting containers. Kim has been active with Recycle CT, the Connecticut Recyclers Coalition, and has involved the city with the Connecticut Product Stewardship Council and the Connecticut Coalition for Sustainable Materials Management and the Yukon Masters Composting Program. Kim is a vital part of Middletown's efforts towards sustainability and has achieved so much during her 30-year tenure. Rockfall Foundation is honored to award Kim with the 2021 Tom Abdel Distinguished Service Award. And Liz, if you could play the video, you need to turn your volume up because it's a little bit soft.
Well, I'm here this morning with Kim, who I'm proud to announce is the 2021 Thomas Odell Distinguished Service Award winner from the Rockfall Foundation. And the award is well deserved. And your background is you're a 30-year employee of the city of Middletown as its recycling coordinator.
I am, and thank you so much. I am so honored to be here.
And how did you start out in the recycling department?
So I always knew ever since I was in elementary school that I wanted to do something for environmental conservation. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I know I wanted to find a solution to pollution. I was very fortunate to end up in Middletown with this position. I have to say something about combining local government with environmental issues and recycling and trash in particular, just really caught me.
And the reason you're so deserving of this award is over your 30-year career, you've initiated many environmental recycling and other programs for the city of Middletown. Can you just talk about a few of them, maybe starting with what you first started with and how it grew into so much more?
One thing I've talked about for years, but we really didn't do a lot with until recently, is food waste. But I'm happy to say that we have been able to introduce a program for restaurants in Middletown.
And that's called
Feed the Earth.
Feed the Earth.
Feed the Earth, yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So restaurants who are in the city sanitation district, we give them the carts that they need. So whether it's 1 cart or 4 carts or a dumpster, and we work with the restaurants to separate out their food waste, their pre-consumer food waste, so that's what is made in the kitchen, and then their post-consumer, that is what, right, exactly, what comes back on the plates.
And I know it's brand new. And how's it going?
So we've collected to date about 50,000 pounds of food waste. We're averaging about 2 tons a week.
So anyway, you're on the board of Recycle CT, and how is that helping you with your job in the city?
So Recycle CT is a statewide organization that focuses on the message of recycling and waste reduction to promote it statewide education.
Now, were you, because I did mention it before, were you part of the Sustainable CT effort?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And now,
in Middletown.
Yes. Now, Middletown is one of the towns that have achieved a silver rating,
Yes.
which I think is pretty unusual in the state.
It's something like Sustainable CT, making that effort work, it requires a village, really. It's and I'm very happy to be part of that effort. But it clearly was a lot of hands making that work.
Now, you run a couple of programs yearly. One of them is your Rain Barrel program.
Yes.
How does that work?
Yes, it's 2 times a year in the spring and the fall, and not just residents. Anybody can order a compost bin or rain barrel online, and then we always have a composting workshop along with that program.
Now, composting is obviously very important to you.
It
It's
is,
one of your favorite
yes,
things.
it
After
is.
talking to you. Besides the municipal program for the downtown restaurants, individuals or families can also compost, right?
Yeah, that's
and can you talk a little bit about that program?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we also do have a residential program to help people compost at home or divert their food scraps, because not everybody can compost at home, right? You may not have the space, you may not have the time, you may not have the energy. So we are offering these food scrap kits to residents who are interested in diverting their waste, and they can use them either to compost at home or to bring it to one of our drop-offs. And we have a food waste drop-off at our transfer station and one in the south end of town on Randolph Road, and we've been collecting it at the farmers market every Friday.
We could spend hours, and we're not going to, talking about recycling and how difficult it really is. What what is your message to people who try to do recycling and do it correctly?
So I absolutely love talking to people about recycling because it is important that you recycle right. However, the more important message, as you know, Tony, is to reduce our waste. And my goal is to develop systems and develop policies that help people do it naturally. There are also, the big one coming up also is packaging. So everything you put in your recycling bin, that could be part of an EPR program. And there are, Maine and Oregon have started a program like that, and hopefully Connecticut will be soon.
One other way to reduce waste is to fix things that are broken. And we have a repair coming up on, I know this will be seen later, but we have a repair coming up on Saturday, October 16th. And we've had put them on hold for a while because of COVID.
Yep.
But now we're going to start again, and we're really looking forward to a repair cafe.
Yes.
And again, it's where people bring broken items like lamps that don't work anymore, or any item that they think they would like to continue to use but can't. And we have people with expertise to try and fix it for them so that it doesn't get thrown into the waste bin. Again, reducing and then not purchasing something new that you don't need to.
Right, absolutely. And it's such a fun event. I mean, not only is it doing a great thing for the environment and teaching people how to prepare their items, it's just a great community event. The whole feeling of it is very positive.
Is there anything you'd like to say in conclusion to your work in the environmental field, in recycling?
So I guess first I want to thank you, the Rockfall Foundation. When I first heard and I first saw it, I was like, wow, I've been here for 30 years. How does that happen? But I do feel like the work I do is very important. I do feel sometimes that it's baby steps, but over the course of time, those baby steps do make a difference. So in anything that you do, you have to do what you can, and that will make a difference in the end.
And the Tom Odell Distinguished Service Award is for lifetime achievement. So not that your career is anywhere near done, but in your 30 years, you've accomplished so much for the benefit of the community and for the benefit of the environment. So it's a pleasure for me to give you the Tom Odell Distinguished Service Award. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Kim, I'd like to call on you for some remarks.
Okay, hi everybody. So first, I thank you so much to Tony, Liz, and the members of the awards committee and everyone at the Rockfall Foundation. Rockfall was actually one of the first organizations that I met when I came to Middletown 30 years ago, and so that makes it extra special. I do feel incredibly grateful to be able to do this work, but I have to say that these accomplishments, the progress that we've made, the projects that we've done, they've only been done because of other people and other groups, like the Middletown Recycling Commission, the Garden Club, the Jonah Center, the Connecticut River Coastal Conservation District, the Middletown Conservation Commission, and of course the Rockfall Foundation, and many others. But because of working together, we've been able to do these accomplishments. And it's really because of these really great, dedicated people who have been pushing me and giving me ideas and helping to move the city forward. So I'm really grateful to all of them, and I know many of them are on the call, on the meeting today. So thank you. There is a lot more to do. 30 years is just not enough time. So we will continue our work. And congratulations to all the awardees this evening, and thank you to all my partners in these projects, and especially thank you to the Rockfall Foundation for this incredibly special honor.
Well, Kim, you earned it, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I've been here all day, and so when it came to supper time, I just went out and I got some Chinese food. And whenever you get Chinese food, you get a fortune cookie. And I struggled with myself on whether I was going to open the fortune cookie or not, and I almost threw it away, but I opened it. And the fortune is, some people dream of worthy accomplishments while others stay awake and do them. And I couldn't think of a more appropriate fortune cookie saying to get than for tonight with our three great awardee. Congratulations to the three of you for a job well done. And now we've had internet issues. We've had the dog bark, and I thought I heard a grandfather's clock go off. So we're right in sync with all Zoom meetings. That's great. Next, I would like to move on to our grant presentations. And if Liz, you would put up the grantees from 2021. There you can see the list of grantees that we gave out in the last grant cycle. And as you'll see later, the current grant cycle ends tomorrow at noon. So together. But in 2021, we granted 11 organizations funds for environmental projects, each benefiting the lower Connecticut River Valley. And on the screen, you'll see the list of the 2021 grantees. And the hard work represented in the list are projects which added to a pollinator pathway system, bridged a bog in an often used state forest, brought art in the environment together, taught volunteers to be citizen scientists, enhanced an outdoor classroom, connected city youth with the wonders of birds, preserved the vital vernal pool, supported the continuation of community garden, created a virtual program on the importance of Long Island Sound, helped educate the importance of the preservation and conservation of a beaver pond, educated young people on the importance of locally grown produce, how to grow, how to harvest, how to prepare, and how to share with others. So in recognition of those 11 grantees, we have 3 short video presentations from 3 of them. So I'm pleased to introduce Mary Ellen Medaliska, Director of Education and Conservation at Mystic Aquarium, to discuss Mystic's grant, Long Island Sound in Home Virtual Experience. Welcome, Mary Ellen.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all of the awardees. It is an honor to be in the same presentation as all of you. So incredibly impressive. So thank you all so much. I'd like to just spend a few minutes talking a little bit about what we were able to do with the generous funding from the Rockfall Foundation, and it was to really take advantage of COVID and offer some virtual programs to the community and to schools that help to connect to Long Island Sound. So it's very important that we have not only integration in with the informal education, but also in classroom integration. What you're looking at here is at the aquarium, we have a preschool. And so the students participate in everything. They have their own garden, they have their own pollinator garden. And what we really want to do is make sure that we can bring that into schools, but into people's homes. So we were able to do that through virtual program. And I'm going to highlight one of our virtual programs. And you might be asking, what do pollinators have to do with the ocean? But believe it or not, there is one animal, it's a type of plankton that is considered a pollinator. And it is thanks to a lot of the animals that you'll see, like crustaceans and so on, that can take these pollinators from place to place and really help to make areas like Long Island Sound thrive. And what we're able to do is highlight some of the exhibits here at the aquarium to bring them into people's homes, and then from there give some conservation actions that can be done either individually or collectively. So what we did, one of our ones was highlighting pollinators, and we were able to really go into there and take a look at everything from the monarch eggs to the caterpillars to the chrysalids, and then all the way to the adults. And then from there, we can take it on the road. And so this is some video of with a group of students, and we were talking about pollinators and the importance of eelgrass. And anybody who is familiar with Long Island Sound, which is everybody on this presentation or on this call, understand how we really do need eelgrass for healthy Long Island Sound. And some animals that people might not know that we have are animals like seahorses or some of the pipefish that you'll see in the back as well. And then from there, our instructor is talking to the students, engaging with the students. They're unmuting themselves and asking questions. And then we just continue to move on and highlight the different animals and biodiversity. And then we can even move to some other local species. So I'm just going to head right here to some sea urchins, talking about the importance of these animals, how they serve as almost like pollinators. And then, of course, animals like your spider crab. Now, granted, this is a giant Japanese spider crab, so these animals grow well over 8 feet. The ones we have here are a little bit smaller, but it's a great way of showing all of the algae that lives on these animals and how they can really serve as a pollinator. And then ultimately, our goal with all of these programs was to connect to action. And so we participate in citizen science programming, and one of which is butterfly tagging. And so I just want to show you a video about how much fun it can be, no matter how old you are. Who you see on the right-hand side, that's a sea lion trainer here at the aquarium by the name of Shannon. And I think the look on her face can show you how much fun citizen science can be. And I'm going to show you a video of Shannon and one of her colleagues who were tagging butterflies. Now, we do this with the general public, and so it's an invitation after our programs for people to join us. The directive was you sneak up on the butterfly and then gently catch them. What you see are 2 grown adults running through a field, just randomly jumping and trying to grab whatever butterfly they can. Now, I know that they cannot possibly catch with the method that they're using, but they had so much fun and they were so engaged that they wanted to keep doing it. And they brought it in and integrated it into the Sea Lion Show. And what we like to do is that's kind of an example of how we can take from a virtual program into in-person learning, into conservation action, to really make people feel empowered to go home and do things like participate in community engagement. These are high school students and a local land trust. And these students helped us to build a pollinator garden at the beginning of a marsh area. And so that is our ultimate goal, is to turn our virtual programs into conservation action that will benefit the Long Island Sound and its tributaries. But I'd just like to end with this slide. Thank everybody so much, and thank Rockfall Foundation for the generous funding that's allowed us to provide these activities and opportunities for families and schools who otherwise might not be able to have these enriching experiences. So thank you so much. I'll stop sharing my screen and let Liz take back on over.
Next, I'd like to bring Chris Pilato, Executive Director of the Valley Shore YMCA, to the screen to discuss their grant farm to table camp. Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks, Tony. So thank you, everybody. We are thrilled to have received another generous donation from the Rockfall Foundation to support our Farm to Table Camp. Farm to Table Camp is our most popular, quickest filling program we have at Camp Shore. When we put our camp brochures out, it fills up within a week, every year in a row. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the program, and then we have a short video to show you of the kids in action. But in short, what we do is campers come to Camp Shore in our Farm to Table program and learn how to manage the garden. So everything from how to plant vegetables, how to harvest, and then how to cook and prepare foods from the garden. And as part of that, we do a lot of other specifics related to, pollinators and kind of partner vegetables and plants to help with bug control and pest control. And then one thing that we did this year, which was new, is that we wanted to embrace the medical model: see one, do one, teach one. And after a number of years of having our kids kind of participate with their camp counselor and learning all these lessons, this year, our kids in the Farm to Table Camp spent time every morning educating and engaging the 150 other kids in the camp program And so they did things like created a song about pollination, which I don't have a video about, but it was pretty awesome. And creating visual diagrams, bringing observations about the vegetables and how to identify the vegetables from the weeds, because sometimes some of the plants grow underground. And our camp, by and large, was super engaged in the process with our campers, and we're really thrilled to have kind of changed the program model this year. I would like to say the last thing we focused on this year was about volunteerism. And we do this every year, but our garden, which is supported in part from this generous grant from the Rockville Foundation, provides all the food and produce we produce to the local food pantry in Westbrook. And so our campers have an understanding about what it means to be kind of a global citizen and take care of the earth and the people around them through this program. So we're just so proud to be able to do this. And I'd love to share that video with you to give you a better sense of what it's all about.
That's great, Liz.
So thank you again, Tony, and everyone on the board of the Rockville Foundation for supporting this program. It's made a real difference in our community.
Tony, you're muted.
Tony, you're muted. Thank you. Anyway, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time out tonight to come and talk about your grant. It's always a great presentation, and thank you very much. For the third video, I would like to bring Andrea Fenton, a member of the Town of Old Lyme Open Space Commission, to discuss their grant, Beaver Preservation, Conservation, and Education Program. Andrea?
Thank you, Tony, and it is an honor to be a part of the other group tonight, and I look forward to sharing a brief talk and a couple of video clips. In March, we received a generous grant from the Rockville Foundation to present a beaver preservation, conservation, and education program. And as part of that grant, we also secured some funding from the Hartford Audubon Society to expand the breadth of wildlife to include birds. And according to our Audubon experts, over 100 birds visit the land over the year. So you will see a short video presentation of our stated goals of clearing 2 observational wildlife sites on the Ames property, purchasing and installing 2 wildlife cameras to capture the wildlife, we constructed 2 hand-hewn benches and created 2 educational displays with QR codes connected to the town websites. And we also secured some drone footage to survey water levels from the beaver activity to address people's concerns. And then beyond this project had an effective rippling effect, which involved a number of organizations and individuals, not all of whom were in favor of the Let It Be approach as adopted by the OLIME Open Space Commission. and the acute need to educate on the benefits of beavers led us to find solutions to mitigate the vandalism to the beavers, yet retain their presence. Michael Callahan of Beaver Solutions assessed beaver activity, identifying that the suspected culvert was not in fact on open space land. Nevertheless, the commission applied for and received some grant monies towards the installation of beaver deceivers. An exciting development in the midst of this project is the hopeful purchase of an abutting 35-acre forest lot to create an expanded 230-acre preserve also on the Ames property to advance the creation of a town-wide hiking trail and provide easier access to Native American cave and shelters also on the property. So with that, I will ask Liz to cue the music video presenting the stated goals, followed by some clips of the captured by our wildlife cameras.
Oh, can you take care of her? Oh, maybe you can spare her several moments of your consideration leading up to the final destination. Oh, the earth is calling out. I wanna learn what it's all about, but everything I read's global warming, going green. I don't know what all this means, but it seems to be saying, wake up, America. We're all in this together. It's our home, so let's take care of it. You know that you want to, you know that you got to. Wake up, America. Tomorrow becomes a new day, and everything you do matters. Yeah, everything you do matters in some way. Stand up, I'll try if you will. Wake up, it's not a fire drill. All she needs is a little attention. Can you give her just a little attention? Oh, it's easy to look away, but it's getting harder day by day. Everything I read's global warming, going green. I don't know what all this means, but it seems to be saying, come on, wake up, America. We're all in this together. It's our home, so let's take care of it. You know that you want to, you know that you got to. Wake up, America. Tomorrow becomes a new day.
This is actually a bachelor group of buck deer. These young adult males form loose knit groups in the spring and summer for added protection against predators. In the fall, some of the older group members will challenge the dominant male in his territory for a chance to mate with does. How successful they are will determine the genetic diversity of the next season's fawns. Here we have does and fawns. White-tailed deer will have 1 to 3 fawns depending on their physical condition during the long New England winter. If there is plenty of browse, they will produce plenty of milk for twins or even triplets. This is a great blue heron. Herons and egrets are common to the shores of Connecticut, but few people see them nesting. Herons favor tall, dead trees in clusters, often the work of beavers in flooded wetlands along streams. The barred owl that you're looking at and the red-shouldered hawk. Hawks and owls often hunt in beaver meadows and besides beaver ponds. The lush vegetation provided by the water is habitat for raptor prey such as mice, voles, and shrews.
Andrea, thank you very much for those videos. They're very representative of the work that you've done with the brand. So thank you very much. As I spoke about at the beginning of the presentation today, and carrying on a tradition from last year, I would like Liz to add everyone to the screen and get your glass of water, get your glass of wine, whatever it is your favorite beverage it is that you have close by. And we're going to have a toast to our 2021 awardees and grantees. So we'll take a minute for everyone to get on the screen. And to our awardees and grantees, there are 28 comments in the chat. Many of them are geared towards you guys, so please make sure you look at the chat and see the people that recognize the good work that you did. And I know there's a way we'll try and preserve those, and maybe we can send them out to you. So anyway, to our 2021 awardees and grantees, congratulations for a job well done. So everyone, raise your hands, raise your glass, thumbs up, congratulations. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully next year we'll be in person. We'll have our traditional celebration with food and beverage and in-person presentations. But I want to thank everyone for the great job that they've done tonight. In closing, I would like to thank our board of directors. They give tirelessly of their time to the foundation. And I'd also like to thank our many non-board committee members who make all that we do possible. If you would like to volunteer on a Rockfall committee, please contact me and we can discuss the options. And I also want to thank our corporate sponsors. You can see them on the screen. Our platinum sponsors, gold sponsors, Geo Subsea and the Connecticut Water Company. Our silver members, Zinellis Construction and Farrow, Ginty, Shealy, and Bacala. And our bronze members, AR Mazada and Nozzle Industries and Indian Springs Golf Course, as well as Gilmartin, Tapiro, and Sokolowski. So again, thank you for our corporate sponsors. Without that support, it would be difficult for us to be able to give out the kinds of grants that we're talking about today. Upcoming events, volunteer opportunities. I mentioned the Rockfall Forest. It's adjacent to Wadsworth Falls State Park, near the Big Falls parking lot. And on Wednesdays and Sundays, we do invasive plant cleanups from 9 to 11. So please join us. It's every Wednesday and Sunday. And again, just a note that I talked about before, our grant applications for the upcoming grant cycle are due tomorrow by noon. And just as we work towards the end, I would like to thank Liz for her hard work in filming and editing tonight's awardee presentations and working with me to put tonight's program together. I apologize for the weakness of for the internet signal, but there's nothing we can do about that. Thank you, Liz. And finally, thank you to everyone attending this evening's event in support of our awardees and grantees. To our members, thank you for your contributions of time, talent, and financial support throughout the year. The support given by our members is critical to the success of our environmental programs. If you are not a member and like to join, please contact me, a board member, or visit our website at rockfallfoundation.org for giving options. Thank you again for attending, and congratulations to awardees and grantees. Stay safe and have a great evening. Thank you for attending. It's been a great show. Great. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Everyone clap.
Thank you for coming, everybody.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a great night.
Check the chat.
Thank you.